Well, folks, I am not a Will It Run and Drive channel, but today I do have a Will It Run and Drive challenge of my own. Today I am in East Tennessee, and I need to get my dad's Lincoln MKVIII fired up and up to Central Ohio. Unfortunately, it's been a number of years since this car has gone anywhere, and as you can tell by the collection of dirt, dust, possibly even some mold on her, spider webs, all that kind of stuff, she hasn't gone anywhere in a while. Which is unfortunate because this used to be my dad's pride and joy, other than his Cyclone. And it's had some issues over the years. One of those things that as your parents get older, one of the phrases you may or may not hear, hopefully not, is they parked by sound. And unfortunately, as my dad's faculties got a little bit worse for the wear, it took it out on the Lincoln. So this is not so bad, other than, you know, you got a mirror missing there. Unfortunately, it gets a little worse when we get over here. But I need to get this thing fired up, and I need to get it roadworthy because I need to go 360 miles back home to Central Ohio, where I will do whatever it is happens to be the next phase for this car. The thing that I love about this car is the thing that most people don't know anything about. And that is this thing. That is a dual overhead cam, 4.6 liter, all aluminum, Teksid block, Lincoln MKVIII Super Coupe motor. In the mod motors, the modular 4.6 V8s, this is about as close as you're going to get to the Terminator Cobra motor without having a Terminator Cobra motor. They share a lot of the same DNA, and realistically speaking, this is basically what brought us the Terminator. Has unbelievable amounts of potential, lightweight, high revving, very, very efficient motor, makes great noises, and it's really, really, really desirable, and I'd love to be able to put this in another hot rod, even if I don't keep the Lincoln. I think that would be great to steal this motor out and maybe do a powered by dad kind of hot rod in the future for me. But I don't know. At this point in time, I haven't seen this car run in years. Obviously, it's been dead for quite a long time. I don't know what I'm going to get myself involved in. This could be quick and easy. This could be a disaster. Either way, I don't have a way to get home at this point in time because my rental car I am delivering tomorrow morning. It's 7:30 in the evening. So I got to see if I get this thing fired up. I did bring a brand new Noco jump box. So we're going to see if I can just throw a jump on this thing and see if it'll fire up. You'll notice that it is also sitting really, really low. This is an air suspension car. And hopefully the air suspension actually works. No promises there. We'll see. At least there's air in the tires. That's a step in the right direction. I know Tony has recently done a turbo build on one of these things. I think he did like an on-3 turbo setup on one, and it is kind of tempting to build a turbo Lincoln. I am partial to hot rod Lincolns. I don't know whether or not I spend the money to be able to get this car back to where it needs to be so it could be properly what it is, or if I end up passing it along to somebody else who's going to use it or have fun with it, or I take it apart as a donor car. I honestly don't know, but we'll cross that bridge when we get it. Step one, get this thing fired up. No, I'm not sponsored by these guys, but I did just pick up one of these things. We use these at the shop all the time. This is a 2,000 amp. The 3,000 amp is the one we use at the shop, but this is good up to 8 liters of gas powered right there, which means it's good for that 4.6 liter as well as my 455 Le Mans should I need it. Hopefully not, but you never know. It should have power. Yes, sir. See if she'll just fire up. Wouldn't that be nice? Doesn't have a readout on it. That's one of the nice things the 3000 has, is that this one doesn't show you what your voltage is. So let's see. The remote doesn't do anything. It's been a minute. That's not doing anything. We got nothing. There we go. Now we're clicking. Now we're clicking. Oh. I can hear the air pump firing up. $85,264 miles. Come on, baby. Well, she almost fired up. Come on, baby. Well, that doesn't sound good. Oh, that'd be bad news. That'd be real bad news if we shucked a timing. Timing chains on this thing. Yeah, it's got oil in it. That sounds like it's got no compression in it. The only way that would happen is if it skipped timing, but this is a timing chain motor, so it can't. I mean, it could, but that would be crazy. Okay. Well, you need three things to make a car go. Air, fuel, spark. I show I have a half a tank of gas. Best case scenario, it's several years old. Oil change was done on this car 1,000 miles before it was parked, but that was 5 years ago. Yeah, I'm still a couple thousand miles away from an oil change, so... Okay, I'm gonna go with it needs fuel, which is gonna be challenging. We're gonna go buy some stuff to the auto parts store. I don't smell anything as far as like burnt electronics go, but who knows? We're gonna try to get some ability to just spray directly in here and see whether or not we can pop this off with a screwdriver and see if we can spray a brake clean or something in there, see if we can get ourselves fired up. Okay, make sure we're unlocked. Make sure it's not anything stupid here. Oop. She wanted to run there. Oh, wow. There we go, baby. She's alive. She's not happy. Whew, that feels, oh. That does not smell great. All right. No check engine light on. ABS light's on. That's not real surprising. We'll see how much brakes we have in this thing. Still shows we've got half a tank of gas. Air pump is definitely pumping the suspension up. You're probably not going to be able to see this, but I am raising up. I'm also going to hold this thing idling at the moment because I don't know whether or not it will run on its own. Hey! 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 Winder's down. All right. We're making progress, boys. Sounds okay. Let's go ahead and pull this out here. That's fine. A little worse for the wear. Hey, she's pumped up. Might have a little bit of an exhaust leak back there. Oh, didn't like that. Hasn't learned how to idle by itself yet. That was dumb, Austin. Why'd you do that? Come on, baby. Come on, baby. What is this? I don't know what that is. Hum? Verizon Connect. It's got a come MAC address on this. What was that for? Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. That pack is starting to lose charge already. Dang it. Is this jump pack already dead? Yep. That's crazy. The jump pack's already dead. This is a 65 DLG. We'll toss a new battery in it and see if we can get it running. I don't think I have ability to charge this thing. Let's see. Well, good news, bad news. Good news is, technically speaking, I can charge that thing off of this rental car. Bad news is, I'm probably going to have to use this, run this thing until midnight to get enough charge to get this thing to fire up. So let's go grab a battery and we'll go from there. All right, fortunately for me, there's an AutoZone just down the road from here. Yeah, put your seatbelt on. We'll try. It is 7:45. I imagine that parts store probably closes at 8 o'clock. We'll try. Might grab a set of jumper cables, honestly. I don't think this little thing can crank out enough juice to be able to fire that thing, but I'll grab a set of jumper cables and a battery just in case, and we'll see what's what. one way or another, we'll get this thing fired up. There is also, if I run out of time, there also is a Walmart in this town as well. So if I absolutely have to go grab a never start battery and fix my car at Walmart with Walmart parts, gotta do what you gotta do. So hopefully, yeah, we'll see. Beautiful day down here in the mountains of East Tennessee. Great time to be down here in the spring. Hey, Vance Auto Parts. That'll work.
There you go.
Oh, well, thanks, sir. 8 gauge. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves some seafoam while we're here, or some sort of treatment. There we go. Buy one, get one. There we go. I like it. A little snake oil. That'll fix it. Funnel. I'm gonna grab a stubby set as well, because you never know. Alright, we're another $200 into this adventure. Hey, gas is cheap down here at least. $2.59 a gallon, look at that. This thing has never ever hauled anything in the trunk, I guarantee it. Brand new rental car with now has 600 miles on it. Alright. Let's get back to work. Alright, I seriously doubt this thing's got the balls to bring this thing back to life, but alright, we'll let this sit for a little bit, see if it charges up some. Then we'll nah, we got nothing. Of course not. Alright, swap out this battery. Alright, got our battery swapped out. The little stubby guy is actually pretty kind of nice. Let's see if she'll fire up with a brand new battery. Come on, baby. She is definitely still pissed. Snake oil. That's probably the proper mixture. Sure. Huh. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yeah. She's alive. And she's smoking like crazy. Whew. God, that smells horrible. Well, the good news is there's no check engine light on thus far. There's no charging light so far. So hopefully we've got voltage. I am holding it at 1,000 RPMs and I can feel it vibrating. It's not super happy, but it's probably on horrible gasoline at the moment. So that's something. At least we got that. Feels like I do have brakes. See the brake lights turn on. We're gonna let this thing sit here and idle for a little while. Run this fluid. Well, it's pissed. It wants to keep on flipping the lights on. Check headlamps. Yeah, I bet. Oil change required. It's freaking out because of the headlamp situation. It's trying to turn on the headlights, and it can't do that. I wonder if I just turn it to parking light, if it'll keep it off. Will you idle? I'm off of it. Will you idle? All right. I'll take it. Whew, that smells rough. But at least it's idling. All right, so putting the parking brakes on, or parking lights on, keeps the headlights from kicking on. That's important. Good to know. My rental car with its auto stop start feature decided to turn itself off. That's annoying. All right, so I think we got ourselves at least moving in the right direction here. I was hoping to drive this thing tonight because it hasn't been driven in years, and I do have to leave here tomorrow morning. But with the sun fading, I don't think that's the smartest plan. Maybe move it around a little bit just to make sure that it moves and stops. Obviously, I'm going to need to wash this thing, and I'm nervous because I don't want to hit it in the automatic car wash where it's possibly going to short out some electronics. So I need to find somewhere that's got a wand washer with a gun. Oh God, that smells horrible. Whew. And we'll see about that. So we'll let it run for a little while and we'll see if we can get this thing to move. All right. Got our hold down done. She's building pressure. Okay. Got power steering fluid. It's got coolant in it. Got brake fluid. Looks like we got brake fluid. Transmission fluid dipstick way back there. Let's see if we can get her out without burning the shit out of myself. Oh, there's fluid on the stick. Okay. Well, let's see if she'll move. Hey, brakes work. Transmission works, goes in reverse. Turn drive. She rolls. Heck yeah. Against my semi-better judgment, I am going to try to get this thing moving. Air pump works. That's exciting. Let's see if I can get it out on the street and back up here. Just moving it straight. Of course, I have no mirrors, so I can't see anything. Don't know what I just ran over. It's fine. Yep, it's fine. Totally fine. Coming back. Well, she moved out of the driveway. That's a good sign. I wonder if she's got any windshield washer fluid in her. Can't see a damn thing. This is not smart. Not smart. Church parking lot. Great place to test things. No awkward clangy bangy sounds, that's good. Got brakes. Decent brakes, to be honest. Pulls a little bit, maybe. Not terrible. Not so much on the windshield wiper fluid. Cooling level seems like it's holding out where it needs to. ABS just dinged and kicked on. That's not a real big surprise. Ooh, brakes are grindy. Yeah, this is fine. Boys, we've got brakes. That ABS light could be any number of things, but it seems like we're braking all right. I think we've got brakes, guys. I'm gonna run and grab some windshield washer fluid and wash this windshield so I can at least see where the heck I'm going. I really want to run this thing to the gas station, but I'm afraid. What happens when you turn this thing on, the headlight's on, and it's only got one headlight? I'll do that back at the house. Well, that'll do it for tonight. We are out of daylight, and we'll get back this first thing in the morning. It's a little too late to go to Shoney's, unfortunately. I wonder what's a... Catch up with you guys in the morning. Well, good morning, folks. We're back at the homestead, and time to get this Lincoln all tidied up and ready to run down the road. As you can see, she's probably couldn't see very well late at night, but it's been a while since she's gone anywhere. Covered in dirt, dust, some mildew, whatever that growth is. You can also see it's been a long time since she's gone anywhere. I think it's been about 6 years since this car has gone anywhere at all, other than maybe around the corner to the Choke and Puke or the burger joint. So it's been quite a while since this car's gone anywhere. I am going to first start out with at least rinsing off the windshield so I can see with my $6.50 a gallon windshield washer fluid that I picked up last night. And then we're going to see if we can get this thing over to the car wash and start washing it off. And that will also allow me to see whether or not the tires are going to be somewhat square or if they're going to be actually able to roll, if my brakes work fine. I'd rather run it around town a little bit before I get out on the interstate, because there's no truck and trailers hiding mysteriously behind. There's no assistant here. This is me legitimately 6 hours away from home, and I have all interstate driving and up and down mountains to get from here to where I need to be. So I need to make sure this thing is actually going to get me where I need to go before I set off on this crazy journey. So welcome back. Let's get started. Oh. Hey, battery still got power. That's good. Oh, that's interesting. This was actually already ripped open. Wonder if somebody's already taken a little out of this and maybe filled it back up with water. That's funny. Don't know if the windshield washer pump works or not, so I will hold on to some of this. Even if it seems like it's going to take it all, which it does seem like it's going to. Alright. See if she just fires back up. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. Alright, let's see if the windshield washer sprayer works. Hey! We got juice. Alright. Windshield wipers suck, but at least it's something. Alright. Sounds a little tickety over here. Hopefully that's just a lifter. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing over to the car wash. About a mile or so from here. Man, I tell you, these things are freaking comfy. These cars are comfortable. It's very much like driving a big stuffed leather recliner. You're just hanging out in a nice, comfortable living room. It is very hard to beat for comfortable seats in one of these vehicles. This is mwah, especially for eating up the road miles. Other than the fact the car may come apart around me. Other than that, everything's great. Brakes are a little grindy for sure. That's okay. Clean them up. Transmission seems to be going through the gears all right. That's a good thing. Ooh, those brakes sound horrible. Now that she's under cover here, it doesn't sound bad. I think I knocked them pretty well, went away. Obviously, I don't want to shock the crap out of myself, so we're going to be a little careful with that stuff. What I don't want to do is become that guy that killed himself on YouTube from taking an HID discharge. So, let's see how she cleans up, shall we? Just going to go straight to soap. Take a bit. I'll be back with you guys in a while. Well, as the saying goes, she's a damn sight better than she was. And I can probably even see out the windshield now. Hopefully she still starts after a car wash. All right, let's go put some fuel in this beast. Get rid of this half a decade old fuel. Put some fresh 93 in her. Ooh, those brakes are real grindy. How about them apples? $3.20 a gallon, 26 cents a gallon for premium. I'll take it. And of course I need to watch commercials while I'm at the gas station.
This is a call for the conqueror.
Rotors look like they're starting to clean off a little bit. They don't seem grooved. That tire's a little low. That tire's a little low. I don't think we got a whole lot of pad life left on this sucker either. Yeah, they're cleaning up. So the good news is that probably means I don't have a hung up caliper, which is one of the things I was concerned about. I'm really not in the mood to deal with a caliper replacement right now. I really honestly don't have the time for this thing to break down or have any problems whatsoever, which is a little scary. I actually have to be back at work tomorrow. I have some stuff I have to do, family business here momentarily, so I don't really have a whole lot of time to devote to issues with this car. I really just kind of needed to work on hopes and dreams today. One of the things you're going to honestly notice also with a lot of the guys that do will it run and drive stuff, where they buy a car and see if they can fix it and make it run and get it back to their house or wherever they're kind of try to drop it off to. It's almost always old school stuff. It's almost always old carbureted stuff. Very rarely are you going to see somebody try to do it with something like this. Because with a carburetor and with old school brakes and old school transmissions and old school ignition systems, there's really not a whole lot that you can't fix with a basic set of hand tools and a hammer. In this case, if I have an injector that gets hung open or isn't firing, if I have an ECU that goes pissy, if I have a transmission control situation, I have no way of fixing that with a hammer and a basic set of hand tools. Even literally something as simple as a crank sensor. If I have a sensor that goes bad, it can hobble this car completely. So I totally understand why nobody would want to do a will it run and drive on one of these things. I get it. I would prefer not to be doing that as well, but what it is. No safety nets, and will it get me home? I believe it will. I'm a really positive person, if you haven't ever noticed that before. I'm a very, very positive person. I always think I can, and hopefully it pans out for me and you don't see me on the side of the road at the end of the video. All right, 10.5 gallons of gas.
With a kick.
I hope that's not fuel. I hope that's water. Yes, that's just water. Good. All right. Yes, give me my receipt. $2.50 for some air, huh? You gotta do what you gotta do. 19. Yeah, she was low. Alright. All four corners were down to about 19-20 psi. We are inflated, ready to rock and roll. Reset. Press reset to clear. Reset. Economy. Reset. Okay. 371 miles to empty. Honestly, I have no idea what this thing should get. I would think low to mid 20s. When I had a Mustang GT before this, I had a 99 Mustang GT. I think this drive I got mid 20s with a top down in a 5-speed at an extreme rate of speed. So I'm gonna guess this thing should get somewhere in the mid 20s. Probably. Phone. It's probably my mother. All right, well, let's do some driving around town. Make sure that we're good to go. Brakes do seem like they're cleaning up. Tires are definitely flat spotted. Definitely flat spotted. Didn't notice it so much at 20 PSI. Definitely noticed it at 32 PSI, but it is what it is. Hopefully they'll round back out as we drive. And I got my dad's old Yeller driving glasses out, so those will help me be sharper on the road. I just want to make sure that things aren't going to fall apart while I'm driving, you know? Realistically speaking, that's the only thing I'm worried about is if I get, well, no, what I'm really worried about is losing brakes on the mountain, because that would be bad. But it does seem to go through the gears fine. The brakes do seem to work, other than they're a bit grindy. Hopefully those will clean themselves up. So put a few miles on it, drive it around town, get done my paperwork that I need to get done, and we'll hit the road. So far, so good. Power of positive thinking. Check. That low engine coolant, that might be a problem. Although, we don't have any issues with our temperature, so could just be maybe slightly low in the reserve tank. Something to keep an eye on. Well, that's how you spread some cheer right there. Bravo, sir, bravo. There is some coolant in the overflow. Obviously, the cold level is here. She's a little bit low, but not by a ton. So we'll address that as we're driving. It shouldn't affect our cooling, and it's not that hot of a day, so not terribly worried about it. Let's get this thing fired up, get things moving. Probably should disconnect this. All right, old Lincoln. I need you to take me home. We've got about 360 miles to do together, and I would appreciate no drama along the way. Don't adjust your TV set or your phone. Yes, I did change clothes. Yes, I'm in a button-up. I had some paperwork to handle. That's handled. Let's get on the road. This is the farthest this car has been from home in probably a decade, if not more. Right back there was Zaxby's, which is about as far as this car's gone in a very long time. All right, folks. Interstate, here we go. Come on, baby, you can do it. I know you're a long way from where vest. You know what? I'm gonna put my dad's driving glasses on. That'll help. All right, 152 miles to Lexington. Should have plenty of gas to get me almost the entire way there. We'll see. Obviously, my fuel economy is going to be a little worse than normal. A, because I had some horrible gas that's in there. B, because some of the aerodynamics of this car have been affected by the fact that the mirrors are not on the car. And the bumper is held on by a bungee cord. And I have no right front headlight. Which also means I need to get home before the lights go out. Because I don't want to try to drive this thing with one headlight. Well, nope, not singing it. Attract as little attention as possible. Also, if I'm honest, the biggest thing I'm nervous about on this car is not mechanical, it's electrical. I don't want to use anything I don't have to, just in case. There's a lot of electrical stuff in this car, and I don't want to have an electrical problem, which strands me. So, we'll see. But man, is it a beautiful day in eastern Tennessee. It is a good day to be in the South. As Dad would say, hammer down. Let's get some miles done. Well, we made it on top of the mountain, so that's good. Now all we gotta do is make it back off the mountain, which is the only thing I'm really even remotely scared about. That's it. Just making sure I can get off the mountain safely. Looking at my timing wise, I'm trying to beat the sunset because headlights. So I've got about, according to when the sun is supposed to set in Columbus and now, I've got about a 20-minute differentiation between when I'm going to be there and when the sun's going to set. I'm ahead of that. So I'm probably going to want to stop for fuel. My low engine coolant just popped back on again. Maybe I stop at Buc-ee's for fuel, some water, and then press on from there. And don't stay long at Buc-ee's. You don't need any Buc-ee's nuggets. You don't need any more sweet treats. You don't need any beef jerky. You gotta get there. It's really hard for me to stay away from fat kid treats, I'll be honest. But hey, so far so good. Tires are definitely square. I don't know if you can see how much that steering wheel is shaking. My alignment is wee bit out. But so far so good. We're still moving. Wish me luck if you haven't already. Well, that just twitched all over the place and then dropped to 0. Lost our speedometer. Not sure what to make of that. Probably just a sensor. Hopefully it didn't, I would think this is probably a case mounted sensor. Hopefully it didn't spit the sensor out. And we just had a sensor that just went bad, so. Oh well, just keep soldiering on. Unfortunately, it's gonna screw up my ability to see my fuel economy. There's my average fuel economy for this up and down the mountain section. 24.8 miles per gallon. Not freaking bad, Austin. Not bad. In a 4.6 liter dual overhead cam Ford. Not bad. Oh, I see a Buc-ee's. There she is. The house of fuel and consumerism. Welcome to Buc-ee's of Richmond, Kentucky. Speedometer never did come back. Brakes seem okay. That's good. You can hear my suspension pumping up. Air compressor's running. All right. Let's get in there and get done what we need to get done. This does need to be a fast trip. No lollygagging. No slapdicking. Get in there, get done what you need to get done. Maybe get a little snack, get some fuel, make sure everything's where it's supposed to be, and get back on the road. Hey, look, if the transmission had spit a sensor out, I wouldn't be able to drive anywhere, all right? Because it would have evacuated all the transmission fluid out of the transmission, then the transmission would be slipping and I wouldn't be going anywhere. So it had to have been just a sensor that went bad. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. No big deal. Just keep driving. I'm already a third of the way home, which is pretty good. I'm excited. Closer and closer you get, the better and better you feel. So we get ourselves a front row seat here. All right. See how bad off the bumper situation is. Hey, it's still attached. Everything's still there. Look at that. Right on, right on. Good, good, good. Air pressures look pretty good. That's not bad. Oh, I'll get the receipt. Go grab a snack. Picketus. Actually, not a snack. Let's grab a meal because I haven't eaten yet today. I'm not going to be able to stop for dinner time. So, either way, welcome to Buc-ee's. The most ridiculous gas station you'll ever see anywhere. Oh, that sucks. I want to take up valuable sweet tea space with ice. That should get me home. Yep. All right, in, out, back on the road. Got some chips, a little dessert, plenty of sweet tea. Whew. Look at that sucker. Ain't she a beaut? We're still doing it, buddy. We're still doing it. She's not broken yet. And even the 1990s cup holders still work for this thing because the base is tiny. All right. Fired back up, no problems. Let's see if we got our speedometer back. Nope, we got nothing. So she probably needs a sensor. Transmission feels fine, so no big deal. And our coolant level our coolant temperature has not moved at all, so not real worried about that. It's just low a little bit on the overflow tank, so no big deal. Let's get back on I-75 and get this finished off. We're gonna make it, boys. Would you look at that? Speedometer came back. Interesting. Haven't even made it out of the loop-de-loops to get out of the parking lot yet. Whatever. We don't really need gauges anyway. It is 4:30. I am just south of Lexington, Richmond. So I'm gonna try to blast through Lexington as fast as I possibly can to not get caught in Lexington rush hour traffic. And I should be able to time that to the point where I'm getting into Cincinnati when rush hour traffic should be more or less over in Cincinnati. So if I'm lucky, I did this right. I was in and out there in like 10 minutes. No big deal. On the road again. Like a band of idiots, we rolled down the highway. Hey, speedometer still works. That's so exciting. All right, I-75 north. Here we go. Well, poop. It was a good plan. It just didn't work. I have 10 minutes to spare between when I'm supposed to get to Columbus and when sunset is. This is going to come down to the wire, and by no means intentional. By the way, sliced brisket sandwich? Listen, that's pretty damn good. And for gas station food, that's really damn good. I like this better than the chip brisket. See you in a bit. Huh. Okay. Onward!
Well, technically.
That sucks. I have 7 minutes ahead of the sunset. 7 minutes. Welcome to Cincinnati. Northern Kentucky traffic. Yeah, I definitely screwed up. That's the ramp to 275 East. Right there. Moving freely. Should have gone that way and just gone around. Taking 471 up through Cincinnati. Instead, I'm an idiot. Alright, we pulled a little switcheroo down there over off Buttermilk right back yonder. We're gonna head south to head east. Take 275 over to 471 and hope to God he gets me there faster, because I am losing time. The sun is setting. I'm not just doing this for drama. I literally don't want to drive this thing at night because I don't know what's going to happen when this thing commands the headlights on and one of them is missing. And I don't want to find out. Also, great big American flag. America! Hopefully this gets me moving. Fortunately, all my gauges seem to be working just fine. We still have that low engine coolant warning, but it's just a level sensor. No big deal. Well, so far, this looks like...
Use the left lane to take exit 74B.
Thank you.
For I-471
I was monologuing.
Cincinnati.
So far, it looks like I made the right decision. 471 runs up through the basically downtown Cincinnati, east of the normal way you get into Ohio. Cincinnati would be over yonder.
Use the left lane to take exit 74B.
And hopefully we're going to avoid the vast majority of traffic. Maybe I spoke too soon. Come on! Gotta get a little bit lucky. We'll be fine. See? I knew it. I was confident. We're gonna be just fine. Is a beautiful city. Wonderful skyline. Welcome back to Ohio. GPS. Sunset is at 8:10. Arrival time in downtown Columbus is 8:09. So we got an hour and a half to go. Perfect. Let's rock and roll. See if we can beat that sun. Alright, so what I was afraid of, light is fading way back behind me here, and these are automatically auto-dimming lights, and they're going to kick on automatically. If I have it in off, they automatically kick on. If I put it in on, they automatically kick on. If I put it in park, it kicks on my parking lights, but it will not kick on my headlights. As soon as my headlights kicked on, this thing freaked out. Now, whether or not that's because it's throwing power at the connection and the connection's not quite right, the fact that it's not, connected to anything, or it's maybe because that connection is bare naked wiring hanging out in the fender with some motor and metal and such. Any of those things are possible. But what I want to do is I want to make sure this thing doesn't kick on my headlights, which is why I'm trying to race that sun to get home. Now, obviously, I still have plenty of daylight left. It just wants to kick my lights on because, safety. But I'm in the middle of nowhere, Ohio zone. This is the basically flat farmland between Cincinnati and Columbus. It's going to look exactly like this for 120 miles. And according to that, I got about an hour until the sun goes down, and I am 100 miles, a little less than 100 miles from home. Yeah, I'm 80 miles from home, so it's gonna be close. It's gonna be real close. And there's nowhere to stop between here and there, so getting a hotel ain't happening. If I'm gonna get any further north of here, I'm going all the way, and we're just gonna be a little sketchy. Appreciate you guys coming along with this, by the way. I don't know if anybody's even watching at this point. I hope you are. This is not my kind of thing. Not really. I'm not a will it, run, and drive kind of guy, and I definitely, if I was, would not be doing it in this kind of a car. Because of how complicated and crazy and electrical this thing is, how many computers and sensors and things, this is definitely not the car you would want to do that in. You do that in old school, and I realize that. If I ever wanted to dabble in that, it would be something different. And I've had 6 hours in this car, plus, all last night working on it and stuff, and I'm really, really torn about what to do with this car. I honestly do not know the answer to it. This is my dad's last car, and he's very proud of this car, at least he was. A number of years ago, I think probably 7 years ago or so, he hit a chair coming down I-75. It was in the middle of the road on the interstate, and that was his last real long drive he did at all. Actually, it's probably more than 7 years ago. I don't know. It's been a long time. And that was what initially did the damage to the grill. But originally this car was immaculate. When he bought it, he actually got rid of his Marauder. He had a Mercury Marauder that he had right before this, and he swapped from the Marauder to this because everywhere he would drive, my dad's a big dude with what at that time had a big dark mustache, and driving around in a Mercury Marauder, you look like a cop everywhere you go. And he always people thought he was a narc. So he got rid of the Marauder, unfortunately, and he picked this up, which is essentially the same idea, just a bit more comfortable, honestly, just not 4 doors. So I'm really torn about what I want to do with this car. I don't need another project. I really don't need another project. But the 464 valve that's in this is massively capable. It's not the same heads as the Terminator Cobra is. You can swap to the Terminator Cobra heads if you want to and use all Terminator bits. But the heads that are on this are damn capable. And this thing is very capable of being able to make very, very, very legitimate power. If I wanted to build some sort of hot rod Lincoln, they are a pain in the neck to work on. We have actually worked on one of these before at the shop. There's a hot rod Lincoln that we did for a friend of mine, Craig, where we did headers on his and exhaust on it. And it sounds fantastic. These things sound wonderful with exhaust, and they can make very, very good power, especially if I threw some kind of boost at it. But you know, I don't know. I'm really torn. The more I drive the car, and even right now, I mean, it's not in the greatest of shape, but it's, how about that? You know, this car hasn't been driven in basically a decade. But being it's my dad's last car, I'm really getting a little sentimental, I guess, about what I want to do with it. I like the idea of maybe letting it live on, the powertrain in this car live on in something else. Or maybe I just fix what needs to be fixed with this car, and I keep it around and maybe make it a little bit of a hot rod Lincoln in his, you know, he's still with us. He hasn't passed, but, you know, to kind of honor him. I don't know. We'll see. Got to get it home, but I'm not worried about it. At this point in time, she's rolling on home. I think she's going to make it. Unless something randomly electrical happens less than 80 miles from home, but at least at this point in time, I'm within striking distance of a tow truck that can get me home. So thanks for those of you who have made it this far. I really appreciate you guys. You guys watching this stuff and paying attention to what it is I do, whether it's this kind of thing or engine builds with Bob or any of that kind of stuff. You guys watching this stuff is what literally pays for me to be able to do this kind of thing. So thank you guys all very much. I really appreciate it. The channel actually just yesterday just had its 1-year anniversary, which is really cool. So Automotive Adventures with Austin is 1 year old, and we've had a lot of success. 9,200 subscribers. Channel was monetized in 17 days. We're not making crazy money yet, but we're making pretty good money, and it's able to, you know, open some doors and things for us and give us some opportunities to go out and have some fun and do some cool stuff. So I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you guys. Literally, I wouldn't be doing any of this stuff if it wasn't for you guys. So I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to another exciting year of development with you guys and experiences, road trips and racing and projects and spending vast quantities of money that I probably shouldn't spend. But I'm really glad I'm doing this, and I'm really glad you guys are with me. And thanks for riding shotgun on this road trip. I appreciate it. All right, let's kick it on home. Race that sun. Well, there's the sunset. I got about 5 minutes until the sun goes down. Well, depending on where I am. I can see downtown Columbus from here. This is me going over the 270 outer belt around Columbus. You can see the city ahead there. Beautiful day. Couldn't have asked for a better way to spend the day. Bittersweet kind of day, but I got to spend it driving my dad's Lincoln, and that's pretty cool. Completed a road trip, and that's pretty cool. Didn't break down or end up on the side of the road. That's definitely very cool. I have no idea what plans are from here with this car. I honestly don't know. We'll talk about that in a future episode, I guess. There's a lot of different ways you could do this. I know Tony Angelo has done a bunch of stuff with his Lincoln MKVIII Super Coupe that he's got. It's essentially an identical car that's silver. They did a cheap turbo kit setup on theirs, blew it up, and they did a whole new motor and stuff on his. So I don't know. I don't know what's in store for this thing. I got to think about it. We got to talk about it, I guess. But I'll call this a win. All the way back from the Knoxville area to downtown Columbus, Lincoln's doing well. I got to fix some electrical problems. I got to fix a couple of other things so that it's at least drivable legally. And if I decide to drive it, I can drive it. Who knows? But thanks for being here. I really do appreciate it. I really, really do appreciate it. Hope you don't get tired of me saying that, because I really do appreciate you. I hope to see you again on another one. This is Automotive Adventures with Austin. This has been one heck of an automotive adventure. And if you're interested in this kind of thing and you can put up with myself, click on the subscribe button. It'd be great to see you again on another video. If not, thanks for making it this far. I really, really appreciate you. And while you're here, click on that like button. If you've seen other videos of mine before and you support me and all my shenanigans, thank you guys all so very much. As I said earlier, I wouldn't be doing this stuff if it wasn't for you guys. So, I'll see you again on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.